Today we're going to learn about equilibrium price of a firm in a perfectly competitive market. A good way to remember how to find a firm's equilibrium price in a perfectly competitive market is to remember this anagram. Susie found Sally. SFS. Set, find, substitute. So let's break that down into its three parts. Susie found Sally. Set. Set the demand and supply formulas equal to each other. Find. Find the equilibrium quantity. Substitute. Substitute the equilibrium quantity into either the demand or supply formulas. Then we will get our equilibrium price for the firm we are looking for in a perfectly competitive market. Let's see how this works in the real world. We are going to be using the riding service market for our problem today, where the demand is rides needed from consumers and supply is the riding services like Uber, Lyft, and taxis. The reason we are using the riding service market is because it's a perfectly competitive market where there are many different firms that provide the exact same service, all competing against each other equally. This is why this works for our problem. So the first part of our three-part plan is to set. So for this problem, we have a demand of P equals 100 minus 5Q and a supply of P equals 10 plus 5Q. For us to find the equilibrium price of the riding service market, we need to figure out what the equilibrium quantity is of rides. So the way we can do this is by setting the demand and supply formulas equal to each other, which will look like this. 100 minus 5Q equals 10 plus 5Q. Now that we have set our formulas equal to each other, we can do the next step in the anagram. Find. To find the equilibrium quantity, we need to solve for Q. 100 minus 5Q equals 10 plus 5Q. We need to subtract 10 for both sides, and then we need to add 5Q to both sides, which will give us 90 equals 10Q. From this point, we can just divide 10 on both sides, which will give us our answer for the equilibrium quantity, which is Q equals 9. I made the symbol Q be QE so that you know that it is the quantity equilibrium of the ride service market. Now that we know what Q is, we can substitute it, which is the last step in our anagram. So we just need to replace the Q's with the number 9. It doesn't matter which formula you substitute the Q in, the demand or supply formula, as both will give you the same answer. I've done both so you can see what I mean. With supply, it will be P equals 10 plus 45. With demand, it will be P equals 100 minus 45. The answer to both of these equations is 55. Now we know that in the riding service market, 55 is the equilibrium price, and 9 is the equilibrium quantity for this perfectly competitive market. Now knowing that equilibrium quantity is equal to 9 and equilibrium price is equal to 55, we can now find out what a firm in the riding service perfect competition market is. It is 55. So just remember, the next time you're faced with a problem similar to this one, recall the anagram Susie found Sally, and you'll be able to solve the problem in no time.